Let's paint a bearded iris together using just ink. Now I'm drawing this straight onto the watercolor paper. This time I'm going to just trace a little outline that I've done. Now you can see here my little test card that I've done some simple illustrations to see how this ink performs. You can use any ink that you want to if you want to join in. I'm using I Am a Cat. It's a kind of grey paint, but it's got this beautiful golden sparkle underneath. Actually, when I did this painting, it didn't show up that well, but nevertheless, I still really like this paint, and I'm using my Kaweco Sport with a medium nib to draw this outline. And I have, of course, done a little simple sketch this time to guide me because I want to focus on the drawing. Your outline is free, waiting for you on Patreon, and more details about that a little bit later. This paint is actually not water soluble, and the reason I've chosen it is because I didn't want to have that completely blurred effect for this painting. I'm putting my ink onto the watercolor paper in small sections because I wanted to have a tiny bit of a blur, not much, so I didn't want the paint to dry too much if I drew the entire thing. Sometimes I'm going to add the ink to wet paper and sometimes dry, and each of these applications will give me a different effect, but I really like the control that this gave me. You can see I'm just adding an ink line, and then with my water and my watercolor brush, just softening that line so you've got that very gentle blur. We have done tutorials on this YouTube channel where I'm using a water soluble ink for a very different effect, and this week I wanted to have something with a little bit more control just by using one color, and to show you how many sort of different tonal variations you can have by painting this way. So all you're going to need is a sheet of paper and some ink and a pen, and of course a paintbrush to smudge that as you go along. This time I'm working into that wet paper so you get that more blurred outline effect. Soften each line as I go. You'll just need to apply a little bit of ink at a time before wetting it, because as I said earlier on, you don't want it to dry too much. Here you can see me dropping the ink into the wet watercolor paper to give that blurred, beautiful effect, and when that dries you can start to build up your different values. The paper that I'm using today is from Etcher. It's one of their A6 postcards, and they're great for painting out and about. So again, this is something you can do if you may be sitting in your garden. We did a garden painting a few weeks ago and it was really fun, even though it was a windy day. Now earlier on I mentioned that we give you the free outline over on the free membership level on Patreon. It's completely free to join, it's yours to keep, and it's a way to support this video. So if you want to paint along with me, you can just trace it onto your watercolor paper, much in the way that I did at the start. We do have a paid Patreon though, if you are interested in knowing more. We have a paid Patreon where we do botanical paintings with watercolor. So I'd like to pause this video for just a few moments to share with you what we do over there, and then we'll jump straight back into this video. Earlier I mentioned Patreon, which is where I slow everything down and go deeper into botanical painting. Alongside the free outlines, there are 3 membership levels for anyone who'd like more time, detail and guidance with me right here in the studio. Now Clematis is the core membership tier. This is where I share longer, more considered botanical art tutorials, materials, outlines, reference photograph, in-depth process, so that you can create art that you are proud of no matter what level that you're at. And for those who'd like more personal support, my Rose tier includes everything from the other 2 membership levels, along with one-to-one time with me via video call, individual critique and a video response made just for you. Magnolia is my monthly mini tier. Now this includes shorter, more relaxed lessons, things like quick doodles, small studies, podcasts and informal explorations that fit easily around your everyday life. Remember that if you're a member of the Clematis and Rose tier, you'll also have full access to everything in the Magnolia tier, so nothing is missed. All of the tutorials across Patreon are suitable for all levels. I teach using a learn to paint as you paint approach, so whether you're just starting out or whether you've been painting for years, you can follow along at your own pace. Patreon is also very easy to use now. Everything is kept in one place. You can use the search bar to quickly find the tutorial or topic that you're looking for without having to scroll endlessly. And if you're planning to stay for a while, do take advantage of the annual membership. My Patreon is about making space for depth, learning and evolving botanical art practice. If that sounds like something you'd enjoy, we'd love to see you there. So if botanical painting this is your thing, do join us there, and it's a way that you can support my channel. So just carrying on, this time I'm taking the ink from the pen. By collecting the ink from the nib in this way, I'm not getting too much onto my watercolour brush. Were I to take it directly from the ink jar, I would be saturating it with too much, and I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to give this some really gentle tonal variation. So by picking up the ink from my pen, I just get the correct amount of ink that I need. It's a lovely way of adding tonal values to your painting without going too crazy. You just get a small amount and then blend it in the way that I'm doing here. I was a little bit disappointed that the gold tones didn't show through in this painting, and I think maybe I didn't shake the ink well enough when I filled my fountain pen. But nevertheless, I really like the colour of this ink. I think it's absolutely beautiful. It is quite similar to the Earl Grey that you've seen me use quite a lot, but Earl Grey to me has more of a kind of purpley undertone, whereas this is a little bit more kind of warmer, perhaps a little bit more green to my eye. Maybe that's the gold flecks working through it, or perhaps it's the paper that I used. Maybe it's not quite right for this type of paint, but nevertheless, I'm really happy with the way it's looking. I decided to add a border around the outside, much in the same way as I've done all along, by putting it onto the watercolour paper and then softening it as I go through. On the corners, I make sure that I take the water right to the edge, so I want the corners to blur, as you can see it happening here. So I'm going to apply the line, wet it with my water, and then make sure that I take the water right to the edge, so that when I do the corner section, you get that lovely soft blur. The ink is dry, so I've decided to go in and add a tiny bit of detail. I don't want to go too much detail on this one, but I did want to emphasize some of the lighter values with an outline, and maybe just enhance a few veins and a bit more detail here and there. But overall, I don't want to go crazy with it. I want it to be a kind of loose-ish look on this particular illustration, which I really enjoy. Bearded iris are beautiful to paint, and we have done a few over on YouTube here, I think some time ago. If you want to have a look through, maybe you can come across it, and we've definitely painted them over on Patreon. So if you like bearded irises, again, you want to maybe just check out the free videos that we've got here. If you can't find one, let me know, I'll see if I can find it for you. Here's the finished painting.